So tonight, I want to give my perspective on this situation regarding uh, a young man by the name of Prophet Key, who was sentenced to 6 months in prison by the Supreme Court of Liberia. But let me be absolutely clear from the outset. I do not know, I personally don't know Prophet Key. I have not met him. I have not watched any of his programs. As a matter of fact, I only became familiar with his name a few weeks ago through conversation with few friends. My commentary is not personal. It is legal, moral, and societal. The process that led this prophet into prison raises serious concerns. In any functioning judicial system, cases begin in trial courts, and that is the lowest level of the judiciary. These are the courts where evidence is presented, witnesses testify, and facts are established. Let's say, for example, Prophet Key, also what his name is, if he insulted the Chief Justice's mother, the court proceeding begins with the district court. The judge in that court may hit his or her ruling. Now, maybe Mr. Chief Justice is not satisfied with the district court ruling, or Mr. of the Prophet is not satisfied with a district court ruling. One of them can decide to move on to the appeal court and appeal the district court judge decision. So it's a process that you have to go through. Begin with the district court, move on to the appeal court, and if you're not satisfied, you move on to the Supreme Court. And we all know by this time, once the case gets to the Supreme Court, that's the final court. Okay? Now, the question I want to ask here is very simple. Were any of these steps followed in the case of Prophet Key? Number two, more importantly, did Prophet Key actually committed criminal contempt of the court in the first place? If none were followed, then the action of the Supreme Court undermined its own credibility and sent clear message both to Liberians and the international community that justice in Liberia is selective and the judicial system is compromised or corrupt. There have been a widespread disagreement among Liberians regarding the imprisonment of Prophet Key. As usual, we all know, some support it while others oppose it. But regardless of the side of the aisle you find yourselves, the truth is this: insulting a Supreme Court Justice family member on Facebook is highly unlikely to amount to contempt of court. Let us be very clear on this. Contempt, when we use the word contempt in court proceeding, it generally requires direct interference with judicial proceedings or the disobedience of a court order. That's what contempt means when it comes to court proceeding. An insult directed at a judge family members, yes, it is offensive. That's the gospel truth. but is typically considered a personal grievance rather than interference with a pending case. And again, let me be very clear. I am not saying that Prophet Key or Prophet Lack or Prophet whoever have any right to insult someone's parent. It's wrong. Not only from a legal standpoint, but from a cultural and traditional standpoint. Liberia was never like this. This country has gone so bad to the extent that even the babies today in Liberia, if they don't like what you are doing, the next thing is your mother. It's like new demons in Liberia, the demons of abuse, the demon of nudity. All of these things are being giving birth to every second in Liberia. And these things affecting us as a nation. These things affecting us as people. So I am not saying that Prophet Key or anyone out there have any right to insult other people's parents. But also, if that happened, we must apply the law the right way. If Prophet Key had done that in the courthouse while a hearing was being carried out, yes, the court would be right to hold him into contempt. Even if Prophet Key had interfered with the judicial proceedings, such a case should have been heard in a district court, not the Supreme Court. Prophet Key's case does not involve constitutional or high-level legal questions. So why did we waste so much time and energy? Social media posts of any kind, be it video, pictures, or what, can be used as evidence. But a personal attack does not meet the legal threshold for contempt unless it actually impedes the court's ability to function. So the Supreme Court is not a venue for personal dispute. If Prophet Key insulted the Chief Justice's father, or anybody for that matter, it is your constitutional right to sue him. But you begin with the lower courts. There are many people on the other side who also confuse freedom of speech with what I call freedom of stupidity. Causing someone's mother is freedom of stupidity. Causing a woman honor part or entering into a woman's chromosome, that is not freedom of speech, is what I call freedom of stupidity. But many Liberians have argued that Prophet Key's barbaric behavior, as well as that of other scornful individuals, fall under freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is the fundamental right to express, 1, opinion, 2, ideas, 3, beliefs, without government censorship, restraint, or penalty. Now, nowhere does freedom of speech permit the deliberate and vulgar insult of a woman's private part. That is not freedom of speech. Nowhere under freedom of speech do you have the exclusive right or power to sit on social media and insult another person's mom, another person's sister, another person's wife, chromosome, and dig into it. Freedom of speech do not support that. It is what I call freedom of stupidity. Take a listen.
The whole Prophet Key thing, do you think the court is proceeding rightly to invite Prophet Key, though he has apologized?
He should have never been here
Why?
because it's his freedom of speech.
You think that even when the freedom of speech goes as far as insulting other people,
Insults are covered under freedom of speech.
you think so?
Yes.
I'm a little bit disturbed. I'm a little bit discouraged. Right? Because that's not freedom of speech. If a 4-year-old male child or female child, it really doesn't matter, in Liberia insulted her the same way Prophet Key insult women, will she beat that child? Will she want to punish that child? If the answer is yes, then I will argue the case that that child's action is also protected under freedom of speech. But even where freedom of speech and democracy and all of these things came from, there's no platform in the United States of America, in Canada, in Europe, wheresoever it is, you will see people sitting there and dig into a woman's chromosome, like how many women have cried in the name of Prophet Key. That is not freedom of speech. That's freedom of stupidity. Freedom of speech itself has limitation and exceptions. Freedom of speech is not absolute. The U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that it does not protect, one, incitement, speech that encourages immediate lawless action is not covered under freedom of speech. Two, true threats. What is that? Statement intended to intimidate or threaten someone with physical harm. The U.S. Supreme Court says it does not support that. Honor, freedom of speech. Number three, defamation or defamation of character. What is that? False statements that damage a person's reputation. So freedom of speech has some limitation and restriction. Causing somebody's mother, entering into the chromosome of another person's mother, fall under the three things that the U.S. government, Supreme Court, does not protect under freedom of speech. So don't tell me insulting someone's mother private part on social media is freedom of speech. No. Freedom of speech in general protects you from the government, but it does not protect you from private consequences. So let us get this clear now. Freedom of speech. If the government is corrupt, you can come out and say the government is corrupt. You can come out and say the Supreme Court is corrupt. The word is the Supreme Court is corrupt. You can come out and say Joseph Walker government is corrupt. You can come out and say George Weah former government is corrupt. You can come out and say anything that the government is doing that is affecting the lives of the people. But you cannot be protected from private consequences. What is private consequences? If Prophet Key, in this case, people say he can cause people honor part, women honor part. Okay, that is a private situation. And there are consequences that he or whosoever engaged in this madness will have to face. So if you come on stage or on Facebook and you insult Mary's mother, or you insult Mary to that extent, Mary has the exclusive right, number one, to sue you for defamation of character, to sue you for true threat, or to sue you for incitement. And there are charges, and there are penalties, or consequences that you must pay. If it costs for you to go to jail for 1 year, for 50 years, you must go to jail. So we can sit and say, oh, that's freedom of speech. If you say that's freedom of speech, it means that you don't know what freedom of speech is. But that is not freedom of speech. It's what I call freedom of stupidity. The behavior of these individuals under what we call freedom of speech is freedom of stupidity or freedom of madness. People also say words are meant to be used. When I hear people making some of these silly comments, it just makes me laugh. Many Liberians believe that words are meant to be used, regardless of the negative impact. Words are meant to be used. Take a listen and we'll discuss it.
Are you optimistic that he's going to walk out a free man?
Yeah, they're free men. They may not do nothing bad. Yeah, they may not do nothing bad. Well, I meant to be used.
Words are meant to be used, she said. Well, regardless if, it has a negative impact on that person or the nation or whatsoever. It meant to be used. But well, let us agree with the ignorance for a second and say, yes, words are meant to be used. That's truth. That's truth. But they must be used wisely and appropriately. If Prophet Key had used the appropriate word, he will be with his wife right now. Is she the one saying word meant to be used? Right? If he had used the right word, he will be home. He won't be beyond bars. He will be having a good time with his wife and family. But the inappropriate use of word, along with a broken justice system in Liberia, is what landed him behind bars. The misuse of words can harm both the speaker and the recipients. The misuse of words is what got Prophet Key. Your prophet is what got him in prison right now. Everything meant to be used. But how you use it determines the result you get. Because the same word, based on how you use it, can open doors or close doors forever. There are two ways to address a king. The first way is what I call the John the Baptist way. And if you go with the John the Baptist way, you will end with your head on a silver platter. That's the John the Baptist way. The second way is what I call the Nathan way, where truth is delivered with wisdom and conviction. And you can find that in 2 Samuel 12, 1 to 10. And it's all based on how you use your word. So I will also say that food is meant to be eaten. But irresponsible eating leads to sickness. So words are meant to be used, but they must be used wisely. Liberia was once a nation rooted in culture and tradition, value that governed how we treated women and the elders. Tradition, culture, values were part of our society, was the norm of the day. But the fact is this, ladies and gentlemen, sadly, much of that cultural foundation has collapsed. Whether the Civil War is responsible for that, or some demon have wiped it out, I do not know. And I think Liberia is one of the countries in Africa that has lost its culture and tradition. You go to Ghana, culture stay there. Nigeria, culture and tradition still exists, even though I don't believe in most of the traditional practices. But these things are still there. But when it comes to Liberia, it's completely wiped out. And we see all this nudity, all of this madness going on in our country. When we were growing up, even 20 years old men, based on the home you grew up in or you raised in, insulting women was not even something that you would dream about. The degree in which women are being insulted today on social media platforms is completely out of hand. Nudity and the abuse of women dominate social media, carried out not only by men, but also by women themselves, which we never saw and would never dream of will ever happen in the history of Liberia. But the useless, scornful Liberian women are now serving as an embarrassment to good, competent Liberian. Everybody blame Prophet Key. Oh, Prophet Key causing people mad. But what about the women who are sitting on social media and digging in themselves every single day on social media? Why are you not talking about that? Why are you worried about this man you call Prophet Key insulting? Somebody must give you the power to do what you do. But the question is this: is Prophet Key the only one? Or does his behavior simply reflect a wider moral collapse that gave him all this attention that he caused women? Is he the only one? I strongly believe there are other men doing the same. But maybe Prophet Key behavior simply reflects a wider moral collapse. Take a listen.
Our only concern here is Prophet Key should stop cursing women.
That should be done through punishment now.
If Prophet Key cannot stop, we the women of Liberia, we will stand up. And I'm calling every women or woman in Liberia, most especially the female lawyers, to stand against this madness. Prophet Key is now a lion for us in this country.
I hold a view, ladies and gentlemen, that Prophet Key should not be singled out for insulting women on social media. He should not be held accountable for insulting women on social media, because he is often enabled by women who insult other women. And there are multiple reasons why he and others engage in this behavior. So tell me, if you call yourself woman, and you and some of your scornful, useless, barbaric friends come on Facebook and dig into each other's chromosome, and Prophet Key and other men have the same mindset, don't you think you empower them to do the same as you? It is easy for a wife to blame her husband when things go wrong, just as it is easy for a husband to blame his wife. The hardest part in life is for either one to look in the mirror and admit, I am part of the problem. And the difficult part for you women, you good women with good moral character, you competent women who are sick and tired of being sick and tired of all of these things happening in your community, you have to stand up. Don't worry about Prophet Key or Pastor Key. Don't worry about him. But you have to stand up to these low-minded, scornful women who serve as an embarrassment to humanity and to womanhood, and confront them. Don't worry about Prophet Key. You have to look in the mirror and say, you know what? Prophet Key is cursing women on Facebook. Other men are cursing women on Facebook and other social media platforms because of these XYZ women who are doing the same and thereby empowering them, funding them to curse women. One major reason, ladies and gentlemen, this behavior of Prophet Key and other men in cursing and digging into the chromosome of Liberian women, the reason this behavior persists is because a small group of scornful, misguided, and irresponsible Liberian women actively enable it. By participating in insults against other women and granting men the space and encouragement to do the same. Take a listen.
I've rather known a spirit. Take my pussy to be or in people in buses. Your pussy picture, all in my e-bus. Cheap prostitutes. Small town prostitutes. You go to your party and your pussy picture all over.
We're not fucking stupid people in that, bro. We got sense more than bitches in America. But you, I will dig in your pussy to that. Come in.
Y'all bring out all water police. Now all water police. Now pussy 14 women. Y'all bring out all pussy outside. See, I bring out all pussy outside. Let me dig in your mouth, borehole I've done. You and dig in that stupid children you call children.
For your pussy sin, that means I'm going to penetrate you. Until when you're sucking my tete and you're fingering me. You didn't want the man started running away from you. You started chasing you down. And you had a nerve. A man finger you, only eating your money. And you think it's going to young girl. Until I marry small boy that your mom make a stinking pussy who marry small boy.
Get up. That look expire long time. But nobody in America want him. So you gotta end the war. Expire to look at.
Where the woman that they fuck in her butt and she shit on herself. In Minnesota, they fuck her in her butt from prostitution and they fuck her in her butt and she shit on her very self. What's the prostitute? And the last time I checked, your baby is not for my husband.
Nobody stupid here. They prevented you. The labor, you live with HIV. Makoni.
Hey, my husband, just say open your pussy today, okay? You alright? Your dirty ass will open it. Your dirty ass will open it. Your dirty ass will open it. Once are you who cause it? My husband asked to your man ass. Your man fuck different men with one ass like you.
Talk about yourself. You old and dirty. You slapping with all you being mulatto. You dirty. You portrait. You very illiterate. Now you want to sit down here. Oh my God. My husband said. My husband said she's so proud of herself. A woman of your class, even a small, or girls in Liberia or the boys in Liberia, nobody has seen a woman who is so obsessed being owned by another 80 years old man, by her great grandfather, her ancestors.
Your call, shut up, bring out your boom butt. That your boy looking at everybody say a monkey, what a dry. They are breaking in, beginning to say, come here. Let me tell you, nobody want you in a society. You are useless in a society.
I didn't post anything for you to come insult me, insult my husband. But the very next time you bring your big ass, one fall or so says on ma, and rest of blame ma. While you went inside the bush, they caught that pussy between you four. You want to put your mouth on me? I will show you the real meaning of Alice.
You are on Charisma, you are on me.
And I hear that story.
You are a woman. You are
and I hear that story.
You want to be arguing with me. Charisma, you are me.
When you pay the money, we'll give you your pussy back. Your lay away pussy.
You're
dirty bitch.
Now your man
make it tell you that your pussy stink.
Now
your man make it tell you that your pussy stink.
It's sad. When you live without purpose, you become an embarrassment, not only to humanity, but you also become an embarrassment to God. And that's what we see in our society today. Some of these women you just watch, I strongly believe some of them are grandma. Some of them are great grandma. Some of them have children. What sense does it make to see grown women taking their problems on social media? Not constructive issues they are discussing, but destructive issues. Come on Facebook and insult each other on a part. The clip we just played, 99.99.99.99 word that was in a clip referred to a woman's chromosome. What word are we living in? But you think for a second, what word are we living? We are planning on living for the next generation. What example these people are living by? These kind of people serve as an embarrassment, like I said earlier, not only to the fellow women, but to God. But the spirit of godliness is not in them. Some of these people living with 12, 15, 25 demons. The second reason Prophet Key has the incentives to engage in degrading attacks against Liberian women is based on the financial and material support he received from many of those same women. Some of you women pay him to insult women you disagree with, to insult your sister you disagree with. Some of you support him to attack other women or personal dispute involving men. Maybe you and this person, you got the same boyfriend, or the person is loving to your boyfriend. Then you call Prophet Key, you say, give me $700, give me $400. You work, you clean ass all day. You take that money, you send it to him, and he go on air and insult that person. And you become super excited. Liberians, 99.99% of you people only support negative behavior. And now what you people started yesterday with this prophet and other people, now it's gone out of hand. If women were not cussing themselves on social media, if women were willing to live by that cultural and traditional value, no man will come on Facebook and cuss them. But if you have a marital problem, your husband break up with you, the first thing you do, woman, you come on social media. Oh, my husband cheating on me. Oh, my husband is this. Oh, my husband is that. Now you open the corridor for other people to get involved and begin to carry your story in a wrong way. And now some of them will bring you on the nonsense, something they call platform, and say, come and play your story. And you open your dirty mouth and just begin to talk and begin to talk and begin to talk. And when they see the woman your husband left you for, she look far better than you. And somebody say, I see why your husband left you. How we used to solve our problems those days? When social media was not in place, how we used to solve our problems? Not proud. The Spirit of God had left most of these people. Who in a sermon will come on social media to explain your problem? The men and women you are explaining your problem to, what are you gaining from them? What benefit? But ladies and gentlemen, this is not accidental. Let us be very frank. This is Prophet Key's full-time job. This is Prophet Key's full-time occupation. And like others who profit from controversy, he will continue as long as ignorance funds it. He will continue to insult women as long as the very women gave him money, gave him material things. he will continue to insult women. So you women, this comfort one, the useless one, the left arm one, the visionless one, the one who bring embarrassment to God and to their fellow women, you are the problem. And only you can end this problem. Only you can end this madness. And how you can end this madness? One is stop sending, not only Prophet Key, but anyone involved in this kind of stuff. Stop giving them your money. Stop. If you don't have use for your money, donate it to a good cause. Because for every cause Prophet Key release on another woman, for every tears that come down her eyes, God is going to punish you because you funded this cause. And scripture put it best. The word of God said, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever a man sow, that shall he reap also. Many of you sow in Prophet Key's platform. And today, you are reaping exactly what you planted. Only you can change this madness. If Prophet Key were ordered to release the name of those who provided him financial and material support, I am confident that many of his supporters will be women. And some of them are the very people today who are complaining. Because why? You paid to cost someone yesterday, and someone also paid to cost you today. So now you are complaining. But the most precious gift that God ever gave to us is time. You use your time not to do something productive, but you use your time to sit and listen to someone insulting another person's mother. What are you getting from there? What are you gaining? Think about your children. If your child wakes up tomorrow and he or she go on Facebook only to see someone insulting you, see your naked picture, do you know the mental stress that child is going to go through? There is nothing funny in someone cussing people. There is nothing funny. Because whatever you celebrate today, tomorrow your day will come that the same man, the same people will insult you, will curse you. And scripture put it best. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stay in the way of sinners, nor sit in the seat of the scornful. This is to many of you, to the millions of you who sit, not on the Prophet Key platforms, but any other platforms, not to think on something prudent, but you sit and listen to another person, mother, being insulted, another person, wife, being insulted, and you claim to be woman. Your womanhood must be questioned. And your mental capacity or status must also be questioned. So why he said, now sit in the seat of discomfort? Because when you sit in the seat of discomfort, or when you sit in a seat, you are in a permanent position. And based on what entertain you and your level of enjoyment of that entertainment will prevent you from waking up to leave. Therefore, you will sit there and your mind will get infested and infested and infested. And the Bible says, well, faith come by hearing. This faith come by hearing, it relates to anything. Whatever you hear for a long period of time, you begin to believe it, you begin to adapt it, you begin to live by it, you begin to do whatever. Before you make up your mind, you become that thing. These people that cussing each other, man. These people that come on Facebook and insult each other private part. These women, these are scornful individuals. David said, don't sit in their midst. Most of these women are not coming on social media and insulting each other back and back. That's not how they started their life. Something entered into them and they are not doing it. Something took away shame from their spirit, from their life. And they are now become shameless goats. And they're doing things that bring in embarrassment to the Creator.
Back to back. So when they took volunteer cover also, he was acting. So what they call Ezekiel that always sewing for me. He said, oh, and I heard that you know the speaker. I said, how you manage to know? He said, I know. So I want you to do me a favor. I said, what favor? He said, can you please introduce the speaker to me? I said, okay, fine. I will call him. Let me see whether when he left, they say, so we can. He said, okay. So like when I call, he said, oh, Anna, you can come on Saturday. I said, no, Saturday will not be okay for me. I said, can we make it Tuesday? He said, okay, fine. So we work for Tuesday, 8 o'clock. He said, when you come, just come straight to 10th Street. I said, all right, no problem. But then I didn't tell him, say I was going with somebody there with him. I didn't say anything like that. I didn't say anything like that to him. So after my working hour, I went home. I called the guy. I said, Ezekiel, can you please come and meet me at my house? He came. I got dressed. We left. We went to a place on 10th Street where he worked. We went to the lobby, the security. We talked with the security and they took her upstairs. When the security opened the door, I entered, the boy entered. We saw him standing. He was standing here alone in his apartment. And how we greeted him, he gave us seat. We were like sitting here. I did the introduction and right away the boy said, oh, my man, I can really be advocating for your business. So he told the boy, said, but continue, just keep doing it. You were encouraging the boy. So the boy told him, he said, Mama, I really want to see you. He said, for what? And the boy explained your condition. When the boy explained your condition, he said, okay, no problem. I can promise you, but if I get something, I will help in that process. Then the boy said, well, I'm going to take my speaker and myself picture. So I took the boy phone and took the picture. After that time, when the boy got to take the picture, he told the boy, said, Mama, can you please excuse us? I want to talk to Anna private. I said, okay. The boy said, okay. And the boy left. While sitting talking to him, I said, Chatty, he said, you, all along you've been eating my money. Today, Uber, you're not going nowhere. And I started, because normally him and second joke on the phone. And I started joking. I started laughing with him, you know. I started laughing. I said, what are you talking about? He said, I don't care what you do. You're not Korean. So I brought all some excuses. Oh, I said, I'm messing. He said, it's not true. I said, I brought another excuse. He said, it's not true. He said, Anna, what you do today, you're not going anywhere. You're not going nowhere. I care what you do. He said, you're not going nowhere unless I can use a preferred language here.
At what stage you say?
No, my uncle said you're not ready near me. I can't do it.
Okay, go ahead. No problem. Welcome. Are you right?
Yeah. So, and we started laughing. So I brought another excuse. You only listen. After the people say I get AIDS.
The people say I get AIDS. You told him.
People say I get AIDS. He said, but I AIDS, I won't get. I said, but I'm on medication. He said, but I AIDS, I won't get. So he said, I don't care what you say here today. You're not going nowhere. And we myself just started cracking. He said, if I owe a little. He said, let's go inside. Let me go check you. I said, no. And how we were pushing me in the room. We were in the room. When I turned, he just pushed me on the bed and hold my trouser down.
Amen.
And we had something to do. We had sex.
Yeah,
we had sex.
This is a grown-ass woman, maybe with children, or if possible with grandchildren as well. She took upon herself to come live on Facebook on the same prophet you're complaining about, on his page, on his platform, to expose herself in a negative way? Did he tell her to come and say nonsense? I don't think so. Did he pay her to come and say nonsense? I don't think so. But she willingly came on his platform to disgrace herself publicly. So, will you say Prophet Key is responsible for this? No. If you bring your problem, or if he get to know your problem and he call you and you decide to come and expose yourself, that's on you. But no sound woman will ever do something of this kind. Ladies and gentlemen, when there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do you no harm. The women of Liberia, you have enemy within. And these are some of the enemy. Don't rise up against Prophet Key. Don't hold Prophet Key accountable to anything. Rise up against the foolish, useless, scornful women and make sure you bring this madness to end. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Delano King podcast. I want to say thank you for your time. If you like the show, always follow our page and share with your friends and family. And again, this has been my take on the Prophet Key contempt case.